Southpaw Oleksandr Usyk just defeated Daniel Dubois in part 2, the rematch, part 2. And in this video, I will let you know what really happened. Usyk, not to be toyed with. The Southpaw does it again, but he does it better. And I'm going to break it down in this video. I'm going to let you know specifically what really happened, what went wrong, and all that good stuff. Let's jump into it. Without further ado, congratulations to Oleksandr Usyk. He definitely did his thing. He looked immaculate as far as the fight breakdown. There's not too much to it. You've seen the photos at the beginning. Everybody kept talking about he's 38 years old and this. Who cares? Age ain't nothing but a number, and Usyk showed that. 38, he said post-fight, is only the start. So he feels good, feels great. He knocked out Daniel Dubois in front of his own crowd. So in my breakdowns, your boy Ego, I give you the good, the bad, the ugly. The good, I have no good for Daniel Dubois, spoiler alert. All the good goes to Oleksandr Usyk, right? The good is he stays unbeaten, stays undefeated. He continues to cook the British fighter. He's had several of these fights against British, UK boxers, and the outcome is always pretty much the same. Domination. At this point, he has fought Anthony Joshua, meet with me, is mad, twice, and hurt him in both fights, clearly beat him. He has fought Daniel Dubois at this point twice, and Tyson Fury. Hey, Utah, two meatball sandwiches, 2. What movie is that from? I want to see who knows their movies. So 2 for Tyson Fury also. So 6 fights, he's destroyed UK's best. Joshua twice, Fury twice, and Daniel Dubois twice. And Dubois, here's the thing about it. Dubois was coming from good performances where Daniel Dubois was looking to be improved. Now, I got to admit and toot my own horn. I predicted Usyk to win. I knew he was going to become undisputed again. And I knew that despite Daniel Dubois looking solid versus Gerald Big Baby Miller and also Philip Ergovich, right? And knocking out Anthony Joshua. Styles make fights, and this is just a completely different style. To be honest, Daniel Dubois looked worse. All that pre-fight banter from Daniel Dubois, acting out at the face-off and screaming, oh, yeah, Usyk, doing all this extra stuff, he seemed a bit out of character. From the moment they did the ring walk, right, Daniel Dubois, he seemed tense, very stiff. And when I was looking at Usyk, he had a cool little ring walk, Ukrainian type ring walk with this boy band or whatever. And Usyk looked chill. He looked calm. He looked ready. And he looked composed. You could tell the nerves were like this with Dubois. But when it came to Usyk, the nerves were like very chill, very mellow, very simmered. Where Dubois, he looked like pent up, and he was like, they were doing the ref instructions. Usyk looked regular. Like, I've been here before. I just fought Tyson Fury, who's bigger than you and stylistically harder. And Dubois looking like, you know, real pouty, like a little kid who just got in trouble from his parents. So Usyk fought like a real champion, age 38. You can fight to your 40s when you fight like a Usyk. When you fight like a Terrence Crawford, you fight like a Floyd Mayweather. You fight like a Juan Manuel Marquez, you know what I mean? And I'm just talking about you fight with some ring IQ and intelligence. Now, Crawford, out of that whole mix that I just named, is probably the most we'll see. You know, him moving up with Canelo, we'll see how he does or whatever. But he fights super aggressive. But the other guys like Usyk, Floyd, and Marquez, they're counterpunchers and good boxer punchers and stuff like that. Very savvy, very smart. And Usyk showed that. So I have nothing but pleasantries to say about Usyk. Been a fan for a while. Have him at the #1 spot, even over Bud Crawford. Even though Usyk said in the interview that he's not #1 and Terrence Crawford is #1, I'm giving him #1 over Crawford. Not to disrespect Crawford, but because he's done more and he's done it impressively against bigger people, right? Like where I'm talking about, there's a marked difference between AJ and Usyk frame-wise. Derek Chisora and Usyk. Definitely Tyson Fury and Usyk. And Dubois, Usyk. Because it's heavyweight. These guys Dubois look huge. He looked big. All right? So it's just a difference, right? A difference into those size advantages for those guys. But in the fight, Usyk shows you he's a sharpshooter, and I promise. I know some people, they get mad when I toot my own horn because I'm really the man. But if I'm right, I'm right. You got to give me credit for it. I literally called this on my watch party. If you listen to it, I was like, Daniel Dubois fighting a bad fight, bad strategy. It's not going to work. And wait, Usyk, he'll lull you to sleep where he'll do these little stinging shots like bop, 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 short shot, bop, move. And he's giving you all these different looks. And before you know it, he's in shape, he's cardioed, and he'll start to open up a little bit more. Or if he sees an opportunity, he's insanely competitive, and that's where he will capitalize on those opportunities. And this is the end result. And literally, I called it in one of the round, probably round 3 or whatever. And then right after, Usyk landed a big shot. And I could just tell that Daniel Dubois was starting to wilt and fray a bit, where he just, I don't know what it is about the UK, the upbringing, the lifestyle, whatever. These UK fighters, for me, they're not built the same as like fighters from America or Mexico or whatever. They a lot of them, now I can't say everyone, but like a lot of them, they seem to like be timid and fold. How are you this big as Daniel Dubois is, way bigger than Usyk, and you're getting bullied by the shorter man? You're getting sent by the shorter man. You're letting him impose his will. And in boxing, that's bad, because what do you think? You know, if Usyk sees anything, he's a sharpshooter, as I mentioned, a tactician. He sees you faltering. He sees that you're unsure of yourself. A guy like Usyk will definitely exploit that and take advantage. And that's what I've seen. Little by little, he was taking the play. And Daniel Dubois had a horrible game plan. So the bad and the ugly goes to Daniel Dubois and his team. Horrible game plan, right? You needed to make this a tough fight for Usyk. You needed to make this a rugged fight, like Robert Guerrero versus Berto. That's exactly what you do. When a guy is skillfully better than you, you use what you have and make it a mugging fight. And remember, Berto was like trying to do the Philly shell. He was complaining to the refs. That's how you do a guy like Usyk. You don't give him time to think. You don't try to outbox Usyk when you don't have the boxing mind or the speed, the processing time to beat him at that game. And this is what Dubois did. So to me, I thought it was a horrible performance by Dubois. Horrible game plan. Look at how big he looks next to Usyk, but brains over brawn. Brains over brawn. And Usyk, he's one of them ones. And I told you about that. Daniel Dubois, he folded. He looked like the Daniel Dubois that fought against Joe Joyce. Mentally kind of weak. And when it got hot in the kitchen, he seemingly like just folded. But he was talking a lot at the face-off, acting uncharacteristic. And a guy like Usyk, who's been there, done that, they can see that. Look, this is a perfect example. All these UK dudes be like shook of Usyk. Usyk, all business, looking at his opponent, And he's like, like look at Dubois' face. He's doing all these theatrics. This ain't you. You're a pretty chill, quiet dude, and you're doing all this. Puts me in the mindset of Tyson Fury. Same exact thing. When Usyk was fighting Tyson Fury, Usyk was staring at his target at the face-off and at the weigh-in, and Tyson Fury was doing all this extra jazz, screaming, and like doing all these theatrics. Usyk is not impressed by that. You're not going to get him out of position by doing all these gags, and I have it pulled up for you guys. Boom. So look, Usyk, all business. He keeps staring at these dudes, staring at the target, eyes on the prize. Fury smirking and flexing, and look, same thing. These British dudes, same energy, doing all this flexing, and then when you get in the ring with him, Usyk is the same person he was at the weigh-in, all business, and he's trying to figure you out and break you apart. You're looking away and doing all this like gags and making all these faces. Tyson Fury did it. Dubois did it. And then he's just punishing these British fighters, man. Anthony Joshua post-fight when he fought Usyk, he went on this weird rant and he was like, yeah, give it up. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip. Like, bro, you just lost. Why are you leading the crowd into like a chant? Very weird energy from some of these UK guys. Dubois, game plan horrible. Didn't impose his size. The things that would have gave him the best chance to win, I didn't see that from him. He fought a silly fight. He fought a fight that was an uphill battle, and he started to break away. And as soon as Usyk in round 4 or 5 really started to turn up the heat slightly, he gets punched and his mouthpiece flies out. Daniel Dubois, he just completely crumbled and folded. Really an embarrassing performance considering 80,000 of your fans at Wembley and you're a champion. You're a champion. It's not bad to lose. I want you guys to be clear on that. Losing is not the problem. It's how you lose. Like for me, I don't like to lose. So if I lose, I'm at least trying to go out swinging, and I want you to feel my pain somehow, some way. And I can even respect it if Usyk was Wilder and he just, like Luis Ortiz, boom, Luis Ortiz is knocked out. Because that can happen to anybody. One hitter quitter. Didn't see it coming. I could respect that because Luis Ortiz, to that point in the second fight, was fighting a very good fight. So you got caught. The problem with a guy like Dubois is it wasn't that you just got caught with one shot. He was stinging you, figuring you out, and he broke your will in front of 80,000 people singing Sweet Caroline in the UK. So the UK is down bad. They got like Hamza Shiraz, Chris Eubank, and Conor Benn. But to me, it looked like Dubois, he got up right after. It looked like he just didn't want no more parts. And he was just kind of reserved. I can't beat this guy. He's better than me. And we're just going to leave it at that. So congrats to Oleksandr Usyk. He's the British Slayer, continues to do what I know he was going to do. And my commentary said that. Meanwhile, I don't even know where a guy like Dubois goes. You have to have wits about you, you know? And as far as the first fight, there was a controversy. Was it a low blow? Was it a body shot? Right? Now it's safe to say, because I was even one of the people where it's like, it's kind of questionable that could have been a body shot, which would have hurt Usyk. All that now is out the window. You had hometown advantage, 80,000 of your fans, and by the end of the fight, before the knockout, they started cheering for Usyk, and they watched you fold. So you had your chance to run it back. You talked a good game before the fight and said what you were going to do. And you're like, no, I don't want to talk about that. It's now. And none of that showed up the night of the fight. And what did show up is a butt whooping from Usyk. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to hear about the low blow body shot ever again, because you had your chance to redeem yourself and you did worse than you did in the first fight and had the absence of a game plan. So that's really the bad and the ugly for Dubois. Like, where do you go from here? You know, where is UK boxing at? Fury's halfway retired. Looks like he's gaining weight. Joshua just lost to the guy that beat him too in Usyk. And Joshua got knocked out. He been MIA. So it's like, where is UK heavyweight boxing? I mean, they got some Wardleys and Moses or whatever his name is. We'll see. But for me, I got to see them guys fight upper echelon competition. One was supposed to fight Derek Chisora, and then it didn't happen. So I got to see it. But that's what really happened. Congrats to Usyk, Daniel Dubois. Bad performance, bad night. UK started making excuses like, oh, he dared to be great. I don't want to hear. See, notice Boxing Ego, I'm a straight shooter. I'm not giving out participation trophies. A journeyman shows heart. To lace them up in general and make your coin by being a boxer, you're showing heart. So I'm not giving Daniel Dubois, who pretty much got laid down and looked like he mentally checked out also. I'm not saying the punches didn't hurt, but I'm not giving him all this extra credit for daring to be great. You did what every fighter does, which is lace them up and have a go at it. And you came up very short. And these other UK fighters, I told you guys got to come to America where it's different. And the earlier, the better. Train in America, because I don't know if it's UK sparring or the lifestyle. A lot of these fighters don't have the same type of doggedness from what I've seen in boxing when the going gets tough. We've seen it, you know? And I'm not saying in here, it's just like when it comes down, these dudes are getting backed down by a much smaller Usyk. You guys got to understand that. So that's what really happened. Subscribe if you like the breakdown and you want more content like this. To up your YouTube game, if you want to create content like Boxing Ego, use my link for StreamYard. And that's for the streams. For the videos, vidIQ and TubeBuddy, my affiliate links are below. Definitely get started. Make some money online today. And it doesn't have to be boxing, but you can make money online. 2025, get started. That's all I can say. I got started a long time ago, and it's worked out well. I've been able to get out of traditional work making content. So let me know what you guys think. Usyk destroys Dubois even easier in the rematch, and that's what really happens. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.